Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we're going to have a deep look at the YouTube upload process. This video is a super in-depth, full comprehensive look at all of the YouTube upload settings and what they mean. I've added timestamps below if you're looking for an explanation of a specific setting, or if you are totally new to uploading on YouTube, we're about to go step by step through the entire upload process, and I'll show you how to get the most out of each setting. For more video training like this, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. My name is Rachel Tapscott, and I'm here to help you with the technical stuff so you can get your message out into the world using video. The first and most important element is your video title. You have 100 characters for your title, so make sure you fill it with as many relevant keywords as you can. Take full advantage of this space. But pay attention to that very important word, relevant. Make sure your title accurately describes what the viewer will see in your video. For example, in this video here, I'm demonstrating how to use a program called Handbrake to compress your videos. I could call the video Handbrake Tutorial, which would be accurate, but it wouldn't necessarily get to the right audience. If a person wants to find out how to compress videos, but they don't know what Handbrake is, they may scroll right on past it. Or someone might click on my video when they actually want to learn how to tighten the handbrake of their car. Both of these scenarios are not ideal, so try to make your title something that's a potential search term someone would use when they're looking for content in your video. When you are coming up with your title, make sure you are focusing on one main target keyword, and then use this target keyword or phrase in your description and in your tags, which we'll get to soon. So I might call this video How to Compress Your Video Files Without Losing Quality, with a spacer and then Handbrake Tutorial. Now, your description. You have 5,000 characters to describe to your audience what your video is about, add links to additional content, and help your audience get in touch with you, and most importantly, tell the search engine what your video is about. This is where transcripts of your video are really beneficial because search engines can't watch your video or listen to audio, so they crawl the text associated with your video to be able to index it appropriately. Adding a transcript to your video description can help these little search bots show your video to the right people and increase the chances for more video views. For more information on captions and transcripts, check out this video. I've also added a link in the description to Rev.com, which is my go-to transcription and caption generating service, where a real person will transcribe your video for you. Just like in your title, make sure you include your main keyword phrase in the first sentence or two of your description. And again, is this keyword term searchable? I'm going to paste some of my transcript in the description box, and I already have these links to my other videos and socials set up as a description template, which I'll show you how to do at the end of this video. Thumbnails are incredibly important, especially if your video appears in YouTube search features or browse next to a dozen other videos. It needs to look appealing so viewers actually click on it. Sometimes YouTube will spit out a decent looking thumbnail, but it's usually ideal to create your own or have one created for you to look more appealing and professional. I usually create all my thumbnails from a photo and add text of some kind to give more context or interest to suggest what the video is about. Some things to keep in mind for your thumbnails. Who are you trying to reach? What demographic is your video targeting? Does your thumbnail give the viewer context to what your video is about? Is it optimized for a mobile device? Is any text big enough so someone can read it on a small screen? Don't underestimate the power of an attractive thumbnail. If you have a large amount of videos or plan to upload regularly, utilizing playlists and splitting your videos into categories can help viewers find your similar content. It's a legal requirement to state whether your content is made for kids. You can make this a universal setting on your first upload or change it for each video depending on the content you're creating. You can also select whether you want your content to be restricted to viewers over the age of 18. If your video contains paid promotion, such as a third-party product, sponsorship, or endorsement, you need to select this box so YouTube can disclose this information to the viewer of your video. You can read more about YouTube's paid promotions policies by clicking this link. When choosing tags to add to your videos, try to use full phrases as opposed to single words. And again, is your main keyword phrase searchable and in alignment with your title and description? Tags on YouTube are not like hashtags on Instagram. Think of tags on YouTube as more like search terms someone would use when looking for specific content. Make sure all of your tags are relevant to each other and are focusing on one specific topic to help the YouTube algorithm put your video in front of the right people. Some tips for your tags. Make sure your very first tag is your primary keyword, or even the title of your video. Next, you want to use some alternative keywords that are basically different ways of saying your primary keyword. For this video, I would use how to compress your video files without losing quality as my first tag, handbrake tutorial as my second tag, and then some alternative tags like how to make video files smaller, compress video files with handbrake, and so on. Then I would add a few broader tags like video compression tutorial, and my final tags will be that camera girl as well as my name. Because although it may be rare someone will actually search these terms to look for videos, by adding these tags to all of your videos, it helps the algorithm to identify which videos are all associated with your channel and can help your video come up as suggested at the end of your other videos. If you're stuck on ideas for tags, type your main keyword phrase into YouTube search and see what other users are calling their videos to give you some ideas. Choosing your video language, pretty self-explanatory. It also helps YouTube to auto-generate captions, which you will see is an option to toggle on almost any video across the platform. You can upload your own closed caption file here if you have one available, or add and edit your captions later once your video is published. Caption certification. What this section means is if you choose not to allow closed captions on your videos, you may have to choose from this drop-down menu a reason why. This is a requirement from the Federal Communications Commission that you can read all about by clicking this Learn More button. By default, YouTube will add auto-generated captions to your video anyway, so select your video language and that is all you have to worry about for this section. If you want users to be able to search for your content by location, if this is relevant to your video, fill in this section or simply leave it blank. Standard YouTube license basically means you give YouTube permission to show your video, but no one else can use it for other purposes. Creative Commons Attribute License means that you give the right for other people to use your video in their video, providing they abide by the license terms. So if you don't want anyone else to use your video, keep to the standard YouTube license. By allowing embedding, you can insert your video directly into a web page or blog. If your video is going to be public, make sure you keep this box checked so YouTube will notify your subscribers and display your video on their subscription feeds. If you're going to make your video private or unlisted so it doesn't show up in YouTube search, make sure you untick this box so it doesn't go to your subscribers. Next, select the most relevant category your video falls under. You can choose how much control you have over the comments on your video or disable them completely. You can also decide how you'd like them to be sorted for other viewers. You can also choose whether you'd like the amount of likes and dislikes displayed publicly on the video. Part 1 done. Now let's jump to the video elements settings. end screens are the suggestions that show up in the last few seconds of a video. You can add an end screen to encourage your users to click on another one of your videos before YouTube has a chance to recommend other videos to them. You can either import a template from another one of your videos or start fresh. You can add up to 4 elements, and they can be videos, playlists, a subscribe button, other channels, and for members of the YouTube Partner Program, external links. If you have a video that is similar or relevant to what the user has just watched, it's great to add this to your end screen to create a daisy chain or binge watching possibility. Or you can allow YouTube to choose which video it thinks the viewer might like best. You can extend or shorten how long these links appear between the last 5 to 20 seconds of your video. Cards are links that appear in the top right-hand corner during the video itself. You will often see videos with suggested cards for other topics mentioned in that video. And if you're a member of the YouTube Partner Program, you can add external links in cards as well. Scroll to the section of your video you'd like the card to be displayed, and select the plus button next to the element you'd like to add. Either keep the title the same or create your own message up to 30 characters. Finally, the visibility of your video. Private is only for you and specific people you choose to view it. Unlisted means it won't appear in YouTube's search, but anyone with the link can view it. And public means anyone can watch your video. And if you've taken advantage of all of the settings we've looked at so far, you have the most chances of more people seeing your video. Now, what exactly is a premiere? This feature is most beneficial for larger channels who have created some build-up and some hype around the video. It allows viewers to be notified of the premiere and watch it at the same time, and it's a bit more interactive. Unless you're using YouTube as a creator to build a community and a following, and you've already promoted the premiere of your video, there aren't a lot of benefits in using this feature. The final option is to schedule it to be made public on a later date. I schedule a lot of my videos ahead of time because I upload every week, and it's great to stay a little bit ahead. Unless you have a reason to schedule your video, it's best to publish it as soon as it's ready to go. One final thing before you publish is to review these 2 policies and make sure your video is in line with the Regulation for Children's Content and community guidelines. After that, you're ready to share your video with the world. You can go back in and edit these settings anytime you like by going to YouTube Studio, Content, and selecting your video details. The last thing we're going to look at is how to set up consistent settings to save you adding the same basic information to every YouTube video. For example, links to your website or tags you will use for every video. Go to Settings, Upload Defaults, and fill in any consistent information to create a template for all your uploads. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and you can rewatch any of the sections we talked about by clicking on the timestamps in the description. Please leave your questions in the comments below so I can answer them for you. Subscribe and hit the bell for more video tips and techniques, and I will see you next time.